magic unfold, listening and healing as stories are told. Come on, come on, this is your time. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. Inner Circle podcast where hearts unite, sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the calls. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a Circle podcast where love is well known. In a Circle podcast where hearts unite, sharing our truth, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Inner Circle podcast. Today is opening day of the Great Minnesota Get Together at the State Fair. For the next 12 days, they said nearly 2 million people, right, will pass through those gates to celebrate full fun and community. But tonight, we here in Inner Circle podcast will be digging deeper, looking how this tradition, I don't know how long it started, maybe like centuries ago, this tradition bring us together as Minnesotans, and how the growing immigrant community in Minnesota has embraced this tradition and some of the exciting things that will be happening at the fair tonight. So again, the Great Minnesota Get Together. I'm your host, Abe Kamara. I'm here with my co-host, Miss B. Miss B, welcome to the show. Today is Thursday, uh August 21st, the first day of the Minnesota State Fair. You're on mute. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Good evening, everyone. It's your girl, Miss B, and we're minding the business that pays us, and we are talking about the State Fair. I'm excited.
Okay, that's good because glad that you're excited. It's a great tradition here in Minnesota, right? If you are Minnesotan, this one of the tradition we look forward to. It is a 12-day tradition. Everyone, I think it is one of the largest state fair in the world or in the country or whatever it is, stuff like that. So tonight we're gonna be, as I said, diving deeper, digging deeper, and so folks. It is your show, the Inner Circle Podcast. Follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. On Twitter, we are there. Follow us. LinkedIn, we are there. Subscribe, follow us. Apple Podcast, Spotify, anywhere you can find a great show. We're trying to make this the Spoon TV of the diaspora. Discuss things that are happening here in America. For us, our focus is not across the Atlantic Ocean. Our focus is here. Some of the great things that be happening in these United States. So again, welcome to the show. And you can also contribute to the conversation by calling our number 952-594-5154 or putting a comment in the chat. Ms. B, today is the first day, last year I went. This year I'm looking forward to going, right? It's that tradition. Once you get into it, it's good to take the kids. Obviously, it's the last maybe major event or something you might have with the kids, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. Because hey, the thing about it, right after that Monday, the last day of the state fair, the next day is school.
Unfortunately, yeah.
School starts for many in these spots. You know what I mean, for many kids. Schools officially start. What are you looking forward to this year at the Minnesota State Fair? And first of all, are you going to take your family this year?
You know we are. You know we going. It's
Okay.
deciding like what crew is going with us, and what
Uh,
money's gonna be spent.
yeah.
Cause if I don't recall, I think I often take the girls, unless you took them last year. So I want to
Okay.
know what we'll find out later. What kids A be taking to the fair?
Okay.
He
Okay.
be going by himself because last time I checked, I be taking everybody in the whole and their mama to the fair, and we make it a big we make it a big event. Sometimes there's even a couple households we all go together. Every year it switches up. This year, who knows? I think last time it was like probably 10 of us, 10 deep or more at the fair. The problem with going with a big crowd though is like everybody wants to do different things.
Different thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially for me, there's a lot of things I can't eat at the fair.
Mm.
Yes, because being a vegetarian and now being a pescatarian, I'm kind of limited. I'm gonna be stuck to all the dessert type, foods and stuff like that. And so
Hmm.
they want to eat the meat, the ribs. There's this one rib booth that we always go to. Like as soon as you enter and get through the gates, you go there. It's on the left hand side, and it's the entrance that is where the bus put people because we do the park and ride.
Okay.
I wish I could remember it has grown. This everybody loves these ribs and the barbecue over there because their space keeps getting bigger and bigger over the years. And then
Hmm.
there's the pickle on the stick
Hmm.
is the other place. So while they're going to the ribs, I'm going to the pickle on the stick. And so yeah, what has happened over the last couple years, Seisha kind of gets to go twice because her cheerleaders they go and cheer at the state fair. Her cheering squad, and so we might go, kill two birds with one stone because, and she's saying no, because that way her entrance fee and everything is paid for.
Okay.
And then we only have to pay for our entrance fee. And then I think low key, they get food and everything, right? So technically she's going to be covered. And then we only
Mhm.
have to worry about the two of us. But yeah, so we're planning to go. We always often go on the Sunday, not the
Mhm.
last day before, because I'm just like, if we go on the last day, it's mean like things were really, really busy. So most likely we'll probably go on Sunday because yeah, I don't like to go on the last day before school and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So first of all, just some history about the Minnesota State Fair, right? The first Minnesota State Fair started in 1859. Right. I
Yes.
mean, that's how long this tradition has been, right? It's like if you ever been to Minnesota, and folks that I know right now, like I said, Minnesota has become the capital city of Liberians in the diaspora. There's a huge Liberian population here. But those of you that are out of state, or even back in Liberia, right? If you ever visiting the United States, if you ever visit Minnesota, I think it's one of the best time to come, right? Let's experience that atmosphere, experience that vibe, because it is the reason why they call it the Great Minnesota Get Together, because the entire state, every corner of this state, right, is like people gather at the Minnesota State Fair. That's what they call it, the Great Minnesota Get Together. And even like I was listening to, I read an article, I was listening to a clip, like the doors open today like at 7 a.m. And like folks have been in line since last night.
Makes
you
no sense. No sense.
last night, right? It's like, and the first person that entered this morning, I think he and his son were celebrating birth. Someone was celebrating birthday, right? So they were so excited, like the band in line or online, the band in line since yesterday. So many people like trying to be like who's gonna be the first and stuff like that. So the entire state, this moment, right, that like Miss B alluded to earlier, like their bus rides, parking rides and stuff like that, that special promotion. So the entire state, right, for the next 12 days, it's not as going to be shut down, but you must participate, right? You're going to be here.
Yes.
Oh, the Minnesota State Fair. Oh, the Minnesota State Fair. Oh, the Minnesota State Fair. You know what I mean? So it's just a tradition that the state has. I mean, that the state has really, really the entire state population has really, really caught on to. And as I said, if you are visiting Minnesota, it's one of the best time to visit Minnesota. And just ask whoever you are visiting, hey, can you take me to the state fair? Because if you love food, there's different kinds of food. There's corn, there's cookies. If you love sweet, you're gonna have enough sweet, right? And things like that. So you're just gonna experience just a different vibe. If you love music, there are live music. I mean, if you love walking, but you're gonna walk around till you get tired, I mean. So this is a really, really great tradition. And to hear that, it started like 1859, it has it has lasted this long. Every year is different. And last year, opening day, it had 139,000 people, right? First
That's
day.
a lot of people.
Yeah, that's one of the
That's a lot of
that was
people.
one of the largest, first day attendance.
Yes.
And the total population, right, last year was one of the highest, 1.9 million people, folks.
Yeah.
1.9. So it's like
Almost
it
2
is,
million people.
yeah, so that is huge. You know what I mean? It's almost like half of the state population. You like go
Yeah.
through those gates every year. And last year was one of the high, was one of the highest. So there's a huge tradition. So the place be packed if you love crowd, for the next 12 days, make a time to go.
And I mean, some of the history is interesting because the fair you originally started as a way for people to showcase their crops,
Mm-hmm.
livestock. So bring your
Yeah.
pigs, bring your cows, and sometimes the handiwork of some of the iron ore people,
Yeah.
and that's basically what it was. And for 25 years, it didn't even have a home until the land got donated by Ramsey County, in which it sits now in 1885. But the thing that was interesting to me was to learn that the state fair is not owned by the state.
Really?
No,
Is
it's
a
not.
is it a different? Is it a separate entity?
It's a
Is it a separate
separate.
business?
It's the Minnesota State Agriculture Society owns it.
Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Okay. Okay.
yes,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
yes, yeah,
And it makes sense, right? Because you said like when it first started, it was all about livestock, to
yes,
showcase their livestock and stuff like that. And that's still right. It is still one of the most prominent stuff at the fair, right? You want to go
yeah.
see. You want to go do. I think there's
Horse
different.
riding.
Yeah, horse riding, different
I mean, you
livestock,
can see
right?
people milking the cows. I mean, they
Okay,
have a whole barn
okay,
area.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Definitely
And
right.
the
And
funniest thing, one year we
mm-hmm,
went, I think
hmm
maybe the girls were probably between the ages of 9 and 10,
hmm
but they were literally scared of the horses. Can you imagine? Yes, it was so funny that night. It was one of the last thing we went to. And at least Seisha was willing to stand under the horse like this and take a quick picture, but Yako was crying.
And the interesting thing about it, when those two little kids were small, there was a show. There was a show that used to. Back when YouTube just started, being YouTube, right? There was a show on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's all about horse riding. Those two little kids used to love that show. They were watching like hours
I
upon
can't remember the
hours,
name, but I know you're talking
for
about it was a bunch of
hours
girls.
upon
Yes.
hours. And to
Yes.
hear that, you take them to the state fair to see
Took them.
live horses, and they were afraid of it.
I
That's
was I was shocked too. I couldn't believe. I'm like, you're so right. They used to watch that show religiously, and then
yeah,
in the flesh, they were
yeah.
scared. I was like, wow, you guys really scared. Of course, they're not scared anymore. But it was one of. I have a picture of it. Maybe if I find that picture, I'll share with you in the Circle Podcast people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just
That's,
yeah. So the history of the fair is some like facts. It's not owned, like we said, it's not owned by the state of Minnesota, and it makes a lot of money.
oh
Lots
man, it
and
does.
lots of money. The vendors make a lot of money, and you pay a lot of money to get in there, right? And so what happens is, and that's why it was so important for this land to be marked specifically for the fair, because imagine having to set all that up again every
Hmm.
year. So they
Yeah.
stay set up, they lock every vendor, they lock their
Hmm.
space up. And then
Hmm.
when they come for the fair, they go and open back up, and hire, everybody's responsible to hire their own staff.
Yeah.
It's a whole machine. It really is. It's a whole machine that continues to be ran successfully. And
Yeah.
so
And you brought a great point out, right? It's a status symbol, right? It's like a status symbol for every vendor to
yes.
be at the state fair,
Oh
right?
yeah.
It is a status symbol. Because if you can be there as a vendor, whether even you make the money or not, to me the fact that hey, you on that vendor list, right?
Yes.
That alone, right? It is. Yeah, it's a status symbol. Oh yeah, I made it to the state fair.
It
For
is. It
the, yeah,
is.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like me now, my social justice self, we've been advocating and pushing over the
Mm,
years for more
okay.
businesses of color
Mm-hmm.
to get in there. So, you got businesses like Soul Bowl
Yeah.
that are in there now, selling food in the food court. I mean, that food court is the food. I don't even know. It's like the international food court of So I know people, you're seeing food vendors throughout the fair, but the fair actually has a huge food hall. I don't know if you've made it to the food hall.
No, I haven't. I haven't. That's a great point.
Oh,
I haven't
you
made it to the food hall.
oh, you're missing out. There's a whole food hall where
Wow.
it's
Okay.
nothing but
Food.
different food vendors. So imagine you go to the mall. So
Yeah.
just think Mall of America food court on on weed,
Steroids. Steroids.
on steroids.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
It's miles and miles, and it's inside of this big building. So if you
Mm-hmm.
go this year, look on your
Mm-hmm.
map. It's the
Mm-hmm.
food hall, food court, I
Okay.
think it's called, or food stadium, something like that is the name. And
Okay.
you go there. Oh my gosh, you could spend a good hour and a half, 2 hours just in there trying to try everything in there.
Okay. Well, folks, tonight we are discussing the Greater Minnesota Get Together, the State Fair. It started today. Today is August 21st, Thursday, August 21st, the first day of the State Fair. It's going to run through Labor Day, so 12-day event. You're wondering why we're discussing it on the Inner Circle podcast. So when you're in this country, these are events to experience. These are
Mhm.
events to be. These are things to experience, right? If you haven't taken any time off this summer, to take your family somewhere, make it to a State Fair or visit to Miss B Point. It's expensive, plan it well, right? It can be expensive,
Oh yeah.
especially if you're going to
Oh
take the
yeah.
kids, right? So if you're wondering why, because we want to, right? This is where we live, this is where we have our family. We need to experience these things. You can't just be a working 12 hours or 16 hours or 20 hours or 8 hours or 9 hours and just be into your own little community, right? For the next 2 weekends, I beg you,
Yeah.
get out of the immigrant community small. To my Liberian people, get out of you see your people all day, every day. Make a time to go to the state fair and just have different vibe, have different experience. So if you're wondering why are we discussing this on the Inner Circle podcast, because here we are here to what? Amplify, empower, and elevate our people to make well informed decision. Bring information here for people to know these are things that exist. Right. If you haven't heard about the state fair, as I said, it is the largest, one of the largest in the world. Right. It's a huge tradition. It's a big deal. So get involved, folks. So you can contribute to the conversation here. What is your experience about the state fair by putting a comment in the chat or calling our number 952-594-5154.
And so, as we're talking about the state fair, of course, the food, the food,
Mm-hmm.
the food. And
Mm-hmm.
so, there's going to be a lot of new food. You're thinking, like, how can there be any more new food to this fair when it has all this food? And
Yeah.
so, and they're interesting things, right?
Oh,
I really feel like people just sit in their house and say, okay, especially if a seasoned vendor, you've been there for years, right? And you want to keep people
mm-hmm.
coming. There are signature things that you will never not serve. Like you're gonna find multiple cheese curd vendors. That is just
Yeah,
a given. You're gonna
yeah,
find multiple mini donut vendors. And the
yeah.
reason why you want to find multiple of the same food is because the lines can be so long, right?
Mhm, mhm,
And you don't want people to leave the fair not feeling filled.
mhm.
But with all the existing foods that has been there over the years, some of the interesting foods that's coming this year is like pizza, cheese, curd, tacos.
Whoa. Okay. Okay. Okay.
So if you love cheese curds, which I love cheese curds, and we know there's this whole thing between Wisconsin and Minnesota, not only just our football team beef, but when it comes to cheese, Wisconsin feels they have the best cheese.
Oh,
And
but that's the
so
land of cheese, Miss B. That's the land of cheese. Wisconsin, that's the cheese heads.
they are the
Okay.
cheese heads. They are the land of
Okay.
cheese. But there's
Okay.
the Minnesotans that feel like, no, we have better cheese. I'm not in that fight. I'm not in that fight. So
Okay.
just imagine having multiple cheese curd vendors. But now one of the vendors are saying, hey, I'm going to make pizza cheese curd tacos. So that means the cheese curd is pizza taste looking. And then you're going to take that and put it in a taco shell.
Okay. Okay. Okay, that's an interesting one. I mean, the bees trying different experiment or different inventions, as you mentioned, right? I mean, they become
Yes,
so creative and innovative with these foods because that's one of the biggest attraction, though. I mean, hands down, right? The food is the biggest attraction at the state fair. So
it's the
yeah, I mean,
biggest.
to Miss B point, if you want to just eat, that's where you just go and eat all day, and stuff like that. So some other side last year, as I said, right, you had like 1.99, no, 1.9 million folks that went through, I mean, those gates, right, for the first
Mhm.
12 days. And to Miss B points a huge economic engine, even for the state, because I mean, it contributes like $290 million every year. to the regional economy. Because
And
folks are
say
coming
that
from
number again.
$290 million, 12
Look at
days.
that. Look
12
at that.
days, 12 days, right? So
12
folks are
days.
coming from all over the world. I mean, if you ever maybe like, let's assume you're born in Minnesota, now you live in Europe, you live in, you live in, wherever, right? Or even you are you are associated with Minnesota, maybe you went to college here, you look forward to this 12 days. So folks come from all over the world, folks come from every corner of the state, folks come from everywhere in these United States to experience and
Yes.
Minnesota State Fair. Even vendors from out of state, right? Make sure
Yes.
that they apply
Yep.
to vendor at the state fair. So it's a huge, huge deal.
It's
So
a huge money
200,
making thing.
yeah, 290 million economic engine. That's just what it contributes to the local economy. And then the
Yes.
other thing, to Miss B point out 12 days, the state itself, the fair itself generate 55 to 60 million in revenue. 12
Yes.
days.
In
12 days,
12
right?
days.
So this was one of the greatest invention ever, I think, right? Because folks go there to have fun.
Yeah.
They make sure that the organizers make sure that they tap it every year, and they bring some big musical acts, to the fair
The
and stuff like that.
grandstand, yes.
Okay.
We'll get
Yeah.
into the
Yeah.
we'll get into the grandstand. But
Yeah.
another money making aspect,
Mm-hmm.
Abraham,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? The
Wow.
people who own homes
Okay.
around the fairgrounds,
Uh-huh.
parking,
Okay.
parking. Yes. My husband's friend was telling him today, he said, look, Pete, I've been parking cars since 7 a.m. this morning. I'm charging
Whoa.
$30 per car.
Wow.
Just think how much money they're going to make. Some of them probably make, I don't know how many times their mortgage. So that's $30 per car. And let's just say if I average 10 cars on my land, right? That's
Yeah.
$300, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say that's all I do. And mind you, this is multiple cars throughout the day. So you're gonna get
Because some folks might come and leave, right? And some
people
folks
coming and going,
must
people
come.
can
Yeah.
come in. But just say
Yeah.
at worst, I get only 10 cars a day times 300 times 12 days. Just
Mm-hmm.
in 12 days, I'm gonna make $3,600.
Wow. That's your
Yes.
that's your mortgage right there, or times two. Times two. Or you could even make more
So
than that, because you said, right? Multiple cars, right? Cars be
multiple
coming in.
cars.
Yeah, cars
Yeah.
be coming in
So
and
let's
stuff.
just think if I have 10 cars coming every 5 hours, because you can only spend so long at the fair. And the fair is open from what, 7 a.m.
Yeah, 7
to
a.m. Yeah.
10 p.m.
Yeah, I think so.
So over 12 hours, right? The fair is open for.
Mhm,
And let's just say you have within that 12-hour time, you have, let's say, even 2 sets of 10 cars.
mhm,
That's 20 cars a day, right? You're going to
mhm.
double this number in 12 days.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's like parking car, having your house property. I'm sure they probably get rid of their cars and go park it somewhere.
They
So
bring it.
empty out their garage.
Exactly. So for the first 11 days, right, from today, and today is the first day, to the last Sunday of the fair, it opens from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Look
So
at that.
almost midnight, 7
Yes.
a.m. to 11 p.m.
Yes.
Now, Labor Day itself, because the next day at school, I don't know what kind the next day at school for the kids. So it only goes from 7 a.m. to 9, to 9
9
p.m. You
p.m.
know what I mean? So
People
because
can
they
go
want to make
home.
sure, yeah, they
They
want
will
to make
probably
sure,
blame the fair. These people, they will blame the fair for
they
being
want to
open
make,
late and
they
why
want-
their kids went to school late because it was
yeah,
at the fair.
well, but I
So why
myself,
do
I
they have it
question that,
open
right?
so
It's
late?
like they should, if they still want to run it for 12 days, they should probably go like, Wednesday to Sunday, right?
Okay,
Monday that
you want
everybody
to add
rest. But
another day?
no,
No,
no. Take out one day and take a Labor Day,
take
because
out
to
the
your point,
Monday. I
yeah,
agree. They should take out the
for
Monday.
rest,
That's
for for
That's
resting,
exhausting. So yeah,
a lot of folks, and sometimes for the last two ones I've gone to, has been like on Mondays, right? Because that's when it's be very crowded.
yeah.
Everyone want to make
Last
sure
day.
they can
That's
get
why I
in.
support it. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone want to make sure they can actually get in and stuff like that. So that's when it becomes really crowded. So that's interesting. That's really interesting stuff like that. But so man, folks, there's a big deal here in our state. Tonight we are discussing the Great Minnesota Get Together. And the reason they call it the Great Minnesota Get Together, man, because there is a event, this 12 days event. One of the highest attendance ever was in 2019, 2.1 million. That was before COVID. 2.1 million people for that 12
Mhm.
days went what? Through those gates. So it's a huge deal here in our state. If you are native to Minnesota, that is something, like you look forward to. A lot of people look forward to it. You take, I mean, like Miss B said, sometimes folks go in groups, take your family, take the kids. It is expensive, right? Especially now we live
It
in
is.
an
It
inflationary
is.
environment. So obviously, that's not something. But man, for the other people on the other side, okay, our Caucasian brothers, man, sisters, some of them go every day,
Every
a
day
couple
of
of
that
days.
12 days, yes. Because they want to try everything. They map it out. They have a plan, especially
Okay.
if the previous year there's a
Mm-hmm,
vendor I didn't make it to or a place I didn't make it to. Even if it's
mm-hmm,
not something I like, the idea is I want to say there's records that people are trying to set when it comes to the
okay.
fair. I want to
Mm-hmm,
say I've tried every single thing. I
mm-hmm,
want to say I've ridden every single ride, right? And
mm-hmm,
so I'm sure every year they set out to accomplish this
mm-hmm.
goal. And I don't know if people have been successful. And it takes you having to go every day because,
Okay.
again, you're going to deal with the line, sometimes extreme heat. There's other things that will, prevent you from being able to try every single thing. So
Yeah.
you have to go multiple days. I'm
I
not
mean,
trying to do
it can
that.
be daunting because the place is huge. The
It
place is
is.
big. If
It is.
you, I mean, and sometimes just walking, you got to walk from one end to another. I mean, like Miss B just educated me tonight. That's why I love this platform, in Soccer podcast, right? It's like every time I come on here, I learn something new. She said there's a whole food court. Can you imagine that? I have never been there. Okay.
Wow, you're missing
Honest
out.
to God, right? A couple of times I visited the state fair. I have never been to the state fair food court. So maybe that is something I'm gonna look forward to this year, right? To visit the food court. Because the other thing they are saying, right, is going to I mean there are some, there are some new vendors, our Somali brothers and sisters, they will, I mean, one or two of them, I mean, they're going to have Somali street fries. That's a new thing that's going to be at the state fair this year. So it's going to be at the food court that you mentioned, I heard that
Yes,
today,
yes,
and stuff like that. So that's something I might go and try to see how a Somalian street fries looks like or how it tastes like, to go and try that and check that out. But some other numbers for you, right, is that when it comes to the economic impact this thing has, on the state or for vendors, right? Last year, 8 vendors surpassed $1 million in what revenue? 8 vendors.
yes, yes.
$1 million in revenue, right? Is that so? That's a huge deal. It's like in 12 days, you
Yeah,
make $1 million in 12 days, you know, in revenue, right? It's like so every vendor, right? Even if those that are making, and then the person that grows the highest. I know Miss B, you talk about this, on
yes.
another segment that we're on, Sweet Martha's
Sweet
cookie.
Martha's cookies. Yep.
$4.8 million last year they made. 4.8. That's one of the highest gross ever. $4.8 million.
No, she's made more than that in 1 year.
Really? Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Yes.
last year she made like, $4.8 million, so that's huge. That's
A day, a day. Okay, I thought you said over the 12 days. So over the 12 days, I think in history she's made 60 million.
okay. Okay. Well, I mean, that's that
Yes.
is that
So you
is
said
that is
$4.1 million a day or
well,
over the 12 days.
over the 12 days. That's what it says. It might be, I mean, the entire fair's operating revenue is 55 to 60. So that could
Then they
be, yeah,
then they exaggerated. Right,
yeah,
because
you
she
know what
read
I
the
mean. So,
headlines where Sweet Martha Cookies makes $60 million in 12 days.
well, I don't know where to get that number from, but it is official from the state fair itself. The
Mm,
numbers that are here. And then the other thing you tell you, right, how the way the state fair makes money, right? Every vendor, no matter how much you made, they get 15% cut from every vendor, from their revenue, right? Total revenue, actually, total revenue. So let's assume that if you make like $4.8 million that you're talking about Sweet Martha's here, that's like,
yeah,
$750,000. That's
yeah,
like,
I stand corrected. Her highest grossing year was in 2019, where she made $5 million. But that's still a lot. That's just 12 days.
I mean, in 12 days,
Companies
yeah.
are
I mean,
open
in 12 days.
365 days a year and they're not making that.
Look, man, if you gave any of our immigrant businesses that opportunity to gross $5 million in like the whole year, right? That could be huge. And we're talking
Yeah.
about 12 days where someone just go and make some cookies, Sweet Martha's cookies, jar and make like $5 million, right? It's like that's huge, right? And last year, again, maybe like that number is going up because in 2019 she made 5.1. Last year she made 4.8. would know.
Yeah.
And she's coming every year, right, to tap it.
Oh
Right? It's
yeah,
like,
she's
I mean,
been
yeah,
there
I
for a
mean,
long time.
yeah,
And then her overhead is very low. So I'm sure
wow.
her take home, yeah,
Hmm.
her overhead is
Hmm.
very, she's hiring a bunch of teenagers maybe at $15 an hour to push out those cookies.
I know, right? Because that's what experience. Even for, I mean, every high school kid or every kid, I think you would like to be an employee for just those 12 days.
So, oh
For
yeah,
those,
oh yeah, they
for
all
those
do it.
12
They
days.
all do it. They
Even,
all do it. Because
even
it's
for,
free entrance. I'm sure they're getting
exactly,
a lot of
yeah.
free food.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to your point about, I mean, that comes to the food, right? It's like 300 food concessions, 300.
Yep.
80 plus food on steak. If you love food on a steak,
So
everything is
yes, I was going to talk about that. That's what
okay.
made the
Go
fairs
ahead.
famous. Food on
Okay.
a stick. Yeah.
Okay. What other can put on a steak though? Have they like do they like what
Everything you think of has been on a stick.
wow.
Anything you, even if it's liquid, they have frozen it some way somehow to put it on a stick.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Man. So everything so that's what makes
Turkey,
yeah. Oh
chicken,
well we're
shrimp,
talking
every
enough. I
meat,
mean
pork chop on a stick, everything you can think of. Because they said it's how many different foods on a stick? 300, 200.
no 80 plus. 80 plus.
There you go.
80
So
plus, right?
everything you can think of, pickle on a stick, anything you can think of has been on a stick. Is on
Yeah.
that
So,
can go on a stick
yeah.
has been on a stick.
Yeah. And one of the things I love about Minnesota, I mean, I think hands down in the entire country we have the best corn. Minnesota has the best
That
corn.
will be there on a stick too,
I'm gonna vouch for that, and that's why it is. But that's one of the highest food that's consumed. 25,000 what corn per day.
with no nutrients. No nutrients. Corn provides you no nutrients. Just
You know,
imagine how much
yeah,
GMO corn you eating if you need to produce that much corn for the fair.
you know, there. But no, I said Minnesota has the best corn. Okay,
Yeah.
it has the best corn. So it's like
Oh yeah, we are cornfields.
yeah, you know what I mean. So you're talking about no nutrients. I think there's some good nutrients in there because that can be nice. You put some butter, just put in the butter, and then hey, you say like you're a vegetarian or whatever. That stuff be
Try
good.
Mexican street corn since you like the corn. Look
Okay,
for a vendor that has Mexican street corn if you haven't tried it.
okay.
It's
And
really good.
one of the unique thing too about the fair, right? It has what do you think how you call it like this craft beer night is a huge thing. I don't know, that's not my
Oh
thing.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Like craft beer is a huge thing, so that's where like I mean different beer breweries
Breweries.
like
Oh yeah. Surly
showcase.
Brewery is always there. It's
Okay,
one of our
okay,
biggest breweries in the state, and they'll be there.
okay.
Of course, they're there every year. They have a booth.
Are you one of those into craft beer?
No, I
It's not
don't
my
drink.
thing though. It just you don't drink.
I don't drink.
Oh, okay,
I don't
well.
drink. And when I did drink, I wasn't a
Mhm.
big beer person. I'm a cocktail type person.
Okay, okay. Well, I guess you might live long. Some of us here, that's, you know, uh, oh man. So, folks, tonight we are discussing the Great Minnesota Get Together, right? It's like first day of the fair, from you, James Better in Philadelphia, right? If you wanted to ever visit Minnesota, this is the best time of the year to visit Minnesota, right? The weather be nice. Sometimes the weather be acting up, but this year, yeah, so far, right, it says one of the best weather, opening
Yes.
day weather, one of the best weather. Cool, I think May 70s, low 80s, nice breeze. And that's why maybe those folks were in line since last night, waiting just to waiting just to
That's ridiculous. It's like
waiting
I
just
guess
to
they wanted to
enter.
be the first one. I guess the first day means you get the food freshest. I guess like when people are at their best energy, I guess that's
Mhm,
the point of going on day one.
mhm,
I don't
mhm,
know.
mhm.
Just
Yeah, yeah.
imagine cleaning up that place every day. The trash.
Mhm, 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 mhm.
But as we're talking about the bigness of the fair, it's
Yeah.
322 acres worth of space.
Mhm.
That's how big the fairground is, 322 acres worth of space. So just imagine how many hours it would take somebody to walk that all in one day. So that is why um, people probably go every day.
Yeah, as I said, right, is like, and that's why again I'll repeat myself here. Like I have never, been to what the food court, but that place is so huge. Sometimes you go one section, you just want to stay there, right? And just because walking from one end to another, man, is that you be tired. And when you have kids, you don't want to deal with all that drama, all that hassle, all that stuff like that, right? So it's a huge deal. But this year they're gonna have, one of the things too. This year they're gonna have like 8 brand new vendors.
Yes.
It brings, and most of them are going to be immigrant vendors, right? As I said, I mentioned earlier, there's going to be a Jamaican vendor, Irish Jamaican. They're going to have. I mean, have you ever been to Jamaica? Plantains are a huge thing for them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Plantains are a huge thing, so that's going to be
Yep.
there. Oxtail. They're going to have oxtail and plenty. And then there's a Filipino. Those from the Philippines. There's a Filipino grill that's going to be there. It's going to be Oasis Grill and Hoyo going to be
Mm-hmm.
there's a brand new vendor. So if you love Filipino food, to all our Filipino brothers and things like that. And as I said, it's like there's going to be a Somali street fries, right?
Oh
Brand
yeah.
new vendor.
Looking forward
You
to
know,
that.
Hoyo Sombasa. Mariam Mohammed is her name. She's the founder of that. Yeah, so is I mean, I'm looking, if I'm gonna make it for sure, right? But I hope I remember to go try that Somali street fries, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So it's
You were
it's a not.
talking about food on a
Mhm,
stick. So
mhm.
this year they're gonna have, this is a new food this year. It's gonna have shrimp and pork toast on a stick.
Shrimp and pork toast.
Yes.
Okay, 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 okay.
Yes, on
Mhm,
a
mhm,
stick.
yeah. I mean, the steak thing, right? So there's 80 plus food on a steak, right there. Like, I mean, every year, 80 plus food. So it's like, it's a huge thing. So to your point, I think that's one of the biggest attraction, right? What can folks try on a steak this year, right? What is going to be on a steak, So folks go there, I mean, for that attraction. Hey, whatever it is, they can have it on a steak. But I would like to see, right? Let's come back to, they are calling all these vendors here, right? These
Mhm.
immigrant vendors. Man, I would like to see some more of a West African, food vendors in there. You into this social justice thing, we are advocating here. I know even yesterday we are, talking about economic empowerment. On this show, we highlighted a local small business that is into the printing, apparel business. You know, what can we do to get our West African immigrant, vendors in there? What can we do to get them in there? Because man, I mean, man, I love my West African food. And I would tell you the one thing I would tell you, right? There's someone that can face meat pie very, very well. I think if that stuff can make it, if that stuff can make it to the state fair, it will be a huge hit. I ain't lying to you. It will be a huge hit. But what can we do to get our West African vendors, especially those into the food space?
So we've been working on different things, and so Acer is going to be at the fair for the first time this year as a entity, and not just our team members attending as
Mhm,
customers. But we've partnered with Dr. Bruce Corey. He has what is called the Cultural Destination Boutique.
mm,
And so the purpose of the Cultural Destination Boutique is to do exactly what you're talking about, to be able to display, different cultural businesses,
mhm,
and, be intentional around having African businesses there. So please look for the Cultural Destination Boutique. So what you're going to find at the boutique, unfortunately, it doesn't allow us to serve ready-made food. That those vendors pay a lot. Those vendors pay a lot to be at the fair, and what we're trying to work on to get more of the food vendors diversity is to support them with the cost. It's a cost to be in the fair
mhm,
for
mhm,
12 days, not only
mhm,
just paying for the space, setting up your space. You have to set up your own space from the ground up, right?
mhm,
So it's not simple as just having a table and chairs and bringing your market. No, it's
mhm,
gone beyond that. It's like a whole thing you need to set up, and that costs money. You have to set up a kitchen. You have to, pay for employees. And so
mhm,
it's like, other small organizations are coming together to provide some of those resources to help the businesses get into the fair. NDC has been good at that, and that's why you'll see more businesses like the Soul Bowl, Afro
mhm,
Deli is there, Pimento is there. You will see more of these businesses at the fair because over time, these CDFIs or small community organizations have been working to get businesses in there. And so, like I said, what we did was in partnership with other organizations, we've supported the Cultural Destination Boutique. So my team is on the ground today. Everybody is there. The office was closed. Everybody's on the ground today working that booth. And what's in the booth is you're going to find different sauces, clothing, jewelry that are sold from African American to African immigrant vendors who are going to be having their stuff to sell in the cultural destination boutique.
So how did you guys then, that's, I mean, I'm curious there. How did you guys partner with some of the vendors that or things that you're going to be, things that you're displaying at that cultural destination? How did you come about with selecting the vendors? I mean, was it because here's the thing, I think we got to bring your nonprofit, the executive director back on here because that's one of we want to know what is ISO doing in this community, right? It's like how can businesses our for us here, as a here in Ozago Park, we are very intentional about making sure businesses or nonprofits that are doing good work in this community, right, the information get out, and also like it becomes a two-way street. As that information get out, folks are able to seek those resources. How do you come about, how did ISO go about selecting the vendors or those items that are going to be displayed at that cultural destination?
We started with our base. We have a base of over 400 businesses we interact with all year round.
Okay.
And then we work closely with about 50 to 75 of those businesses by providing technical assistance. And so
Mm-hmm.
here's the thing. People need to be ready for when these opportunities are available. So there were some vendors that weren't prepared. When I say weren't prepared, simple thing is having a cottage food license, and a cottage food license is free, right? It takes, maybe I went through the process myself because we wanted to really be able to support this business to be able to get their license. So I took my time at the office, read up on all the information, and I took the test online, and now I have my cottage food license, and I'm not even somebody who cooks in my home, right? And that license is free. So anything up to $7,800, that's $7,800 is free. Otherwise you can pay 50 bucks and get in a revenue of $80,000, and then you can be able to have the cottage food license. And what this license just says, that you get to sell food that you basically have prepared at home. So one of the vendors we tried to get in there, she was trying to sell her sauces. She's a farmer, and from being a farmer, she farms and makes her organic sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And in making her sauces, she needed to have the cottage food license, and she didn't, right? And so the time was too short, and we couldn't get her prepared. Not only have her cottage food license, there are different licenses and permits the fair requires you to have as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I can't stress it enough. It's like my husband always says, be ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And our businesses need to be ready, right? There's different types of licenses that even when you are a restaurant, right, you still, for a fair, you still have to get a certain permit, right? Because you may be only licensed in the city of Brooklyn Park, but now
Yeah.
you want to come to the city of St. Paul,
Yeah.
even though you are a restaurant, and sell your food at the fair. It's different temporary licenses that you have to get, different types of insurances that you have to get.
And then the other thing you got to realize, right? I mean, that's a good point there, right? You're going to be serving the world, folks. You're going to be serving the entire world.
Yep.
You know what I
You
mean?
have
So
to have
that's it.
insurance. Exactly.
Yeah, you're going to be serving the entire world. Well, I think one of the things our businesses need to take seriously. Obviously, there's not a business segment, but our businesses, those that are in business, our entrepreneur need to take seriously. Such a place, even if you go there, you don't make money. It's an exposure. It's
Yes.
a marketing. I mean, it can give you right. It's a good story here about a local monk kitchen, right? The monk, I want the largest immigrant community here in Minnesota, right? It's a monk kitchen that debuted in
Largest
2022.
Asian, not the largest immigrant, largest Asian.
Oh, okay, largest Asian. I mean, I said one of the largest, immigrant, folks here. But there's a monk kitchen that debuted in 2022. I think they made history, right? It's like their foods, like they had an international base and it ended a prestigious award in 2023 just by what being
Mhm.
at the fair because like everybody that tasted their food was so good. They have never tasted something like that before. It's like it just America will love food. Okay, so if you taste something that looks so different, that whatever different, everybody can kind of a hook onto it, right? Folks in hook onto it. So I think it's a marketing opportunity for those entrepreneurs out there, for those business folks out there. Sometimes you wonder, oh yeah, no one know my business. You're been business all this long. What are you doing to scale? I think that this toward the event, right? Even though it's hard to get into, right? Because to Miss viewpoint, the fair is going to what? screen vendors. It's not everybody. As I said, it's like on a wall. It's
Yeah.
like it's like you winning an award when you're invited to the fair, right? Even like Maria Mohammed, right? Her first time being invited to the fair as a vendor, right? She's the one going to be doing that Samadhi street, street fries. She said it was like an American dream just by her being accepted there as a vendor. It's like an
Yep.
American dream for her. So I think we need to take this thing seriously. That's why, folks, I know some of you love the other side of the Atlantic, the other side of the ocean, but we in this country, especially if you want to make it, if you want to play in the big leagues, man, focus your attention here, do something here, and this one a place, to ready, 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 get an exposure. Because even if folks will just come, in America, folks love talking, will come into our with you. You do some great networking, and then you start educating them about your product, about your food, about your whatever, your African clothes or whatever. And to your point, Miss B, I think that cultural destinations where like people can, oh yeah, what's this? You can start educating them, you can start telling them.
Yep.
It's just creating that awareness. Once you look, man, when something, especially we live in the social media craze war, right? When something go viral for you, guess
Mhm.
what? You hit it big. Do not
That's
overlook this
that's
moment.
that.
When
That's
something
that.
go viral for you, you're gonna what? Before you go look, you're a millionaire or multi-millionaire, and
Exactly.
the fair has done that for so many people.
Yeah, and so I'm excited about the businesses that were able to get into the cultural destination. Jania, she makes coffee, African American
Mhm,
woman who has her own coffee business, right? Like
mhm.
real cocoa, turning it into coffee. So just excited about that business that's going to be there. We have some people doing sauces. I hope she was able to get in there. Nadia's Jamaican Kitchen. She has her sauces in high V already, and so she will be one of the sauces there at the cultural destination. So we have people who have great businesses, great ideas. They're stepping into businesses that are normally predominantly European businesses that we are stepping into, right? And so it's great to have the cultural destination boutique to display some of those businesses.
No, I
Again,
mean,
you'll find out some more of our Black owned restaurants are at the food court that I'm talking about, or somewhere throughout the fairgrounds.
look, whether you like it or not, as many times on this platform, on the Inner Circle podcast, we have talked about, the whole negative energy against immigrants, these days, right? Forget about all that noise. That's noise. Immigrants are not going anywhere. They are growing. They're going to be the fabric of this, especially the new immigrants, right? I mean, that are coming here. They're going to be the fabric of the society for a long time. But we need to start taking advantage of some of these opportunities. We need to start getting ourselves out there because I've said that the great thing about Inner Circle podcast, we are not waiting for other people to tell our stories, right?
Yes.
We are telling our own stories. And the thing about that whole cultural destination, you guys, what have you, and we are promoting it here tonight, creating our awareness of folks, right? Is that because these are things, right? If we go listen to anything, right, and we go listen to, your local channel news, or you go watch and you're not going to hear anything about what we're discussing here tonight,
No, you're
about
not.
cultural destination, right? They're going to be talking about maybe Sweet Martha's cookie, if you're going to hear, okay, you
Which I'm
know,
sure a lot of them come here just to try those cookies.
exactly, and they're going to be talking about sweet mother's cookie. But what if someone comes to that cultural destination and try a sauce? And so, oh man, that is good. I can eat this with what? Maybe I can put this on, I mean, it is sometimes you make your little food
Thing.
and then put a little spice on it. Boom. As I said, all it takes is that one moment that could just blow your entire world. That could change your entire world. So we
Yeah.
shouldn't sit on the sideline and say, hey, oh, the state fair is not for me. No, it's for every one of
Everybody.
us.
It's for
It's for,
everybody.
it's for all of us. Oh, that's what white people think. No, we need to change
You're
it.
going to be in a space where 2 million people are going to be having the opportunity to access your business for the first time ever.
Mhm, mhm.
And
And
so,
one of the thing, and one of the thing too, right? To that point right there, right? It's a platform for representation.
yeah.
Right? It is a platform of representation, right? It's where look, like let's assume like next year is gonna have political season. You're gonna see like Emily Gorbachev there, right?
Oh,
You're
yeah.
gonna see like
The
during
DFL
presidential
is
years.
there. The DFL
What,
is there right now as we speak. And the
ah,
candidate elected officials, my girl Huda, she held it down today. She's out there volunteering and she's been
okay,
on the fairgrounds. Yes. And
okay.
so it's that is why this fair is so important. The idea that you get access to 2 million people. You know,
Yeah.
you talked about Little Africa in 11 years and how it's not crowded, but I tell you, I say it takes time. But this is what people do when they can go to a place. Any business, any entity can go to a place where they can have interaction with a large crowd. It's going to be worth it. That's where your marketing dollars could be spent, which I'm sure the Wells Fargo's, all the banks, right, have a booth. If you are any big Fortune 500 company here in the state of Minnesota, you are making yourself known some way, somehow on the fairgrounds
Yeah,
more than
every Minnesota,
everybody.
every
Every
Minnesota business at
radio
the state
station
fair.
is going to be shooting from there.
Yeah,
WCCO,
everybody,
KSP. So we got to
everybody.
find as media, and that has got to be our niche. The fact that we are engaging a different type of um um um
Audience.
customers,
Yeah.
audience,
Mm-hmm,
that
mm-hmm,
can be
mm-hmm.
our niche to find our way into the fair, right? And say,
And we
hey,
will. Circle Podcast is going to be down there very
we're
soon
gonna
because
find our
for us,
way into the fair. Yes,
for us here, right, we are here to amplify the immigrant voices,
exactly.
to empower, our fellow immigrants and to elevate, our immigrant community. So, one way we could do that, one way we would do that is to definitely be, at the Great Minnesota Get Together because, hey, that's a whole different level, right? It gives, and we're going to be, asking folks, man, right, when you come here eating that corn, like on the steak or doing whatever you're doing, hey, you know what I mean? What is the experience? And we need to start exposing our kids to these things, right? If someone visit me from Africa or anything like that, the one place I would like to take them it's a great Minnesota Get Together.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know, that should be, or someone come from other state to visit me. I think I should take them to the Great Minnesota Get Together. It's an experience that's no other. No fair in this country can compare to the Minnesota State Fair. It's
Mm-mm.
just a different experience. It's a fun experience. Every musical art in the world, right, want to kind of,
Yeah.
experience, experience that you come, you for that 12 days we are performing, it's like the musical stand be packed,
Oh yeah.
that play be jammy, as I say, it opens at 7 up to
Yep.
11. So it be jammy.
So
It
this
be-
year they're gonna have some folks that I know, and and hopefully I'll get to be there that night. Megan Trainor, I'm a Megan Trainor fan.
Mhm,
Is going to be at the on the grandstand this year. Nelly is
mhm.
going to be here with special guest Jaru,
Okay.
Maya, and the Yin
Mm,
Yang Twins. He's gonna be
okay.
here Saturday, August 30th, 7
Okay.
p.m.
Okay.
And the tickets are not that bad. Like all regular seats are $54 to $86. The party deck is 108 to 121. So it's the tickets are not that bad when it comes to seeing, and you're gonna get a good lineup of Nelly, Jaru, Maya, and the Yin Yang Twins. You're gonna get four for the price of one. I mean, I think it's worth it.
Here's the thing though, when it comes to pricing, right? I know as I said, we live in an inflationary environment. I'm a finance person, I don't want, what I mean, but the thing about it, right? When it comes to experience, it's priceless, man.
Oh
Money
yeah,
cannot buy experience. So
oh
sometimes,
yeah.
because guess what? You take that money and you go blow it on clothes, on material things, or go do something that, you know, it would never appear on your smartphone to show 1 year later or 2 years later to show you these memories, right? So nothing cannot buy a memory. Like when it comes to memory, it's priceless. Going to the state fair to me, every time you go to, you are making memories, right? You are making memories, right? You're part of that. You have become part of a tradition that started since 1859. Imagine that, 1859. That
Yeah.
tradition has been as old as this country, right?
And for the old school folks, you have it's called Atmosphere and Friends, where you have
Yeah.
Atmosphere, Cypress Hill, Lupe Fiasco, The Far
Mhm.
Side, and DJ Ability. So if you guys are a Cypress Hill fan, Lupe Fiasco fan, you can see them Saturday, August 23rd, 5 p.m. Again, same price range for the ticket prices.
Yeah, yeah. So, folks, man, tonight is the Great Minnesota Get Together. This is the only place in the world for the next 12 days. It's going to be
Hmm.
everything and anything, everything and anything. I'm telling you, everything and anything, it is going to be there. It is the end of our summer season because guess what? Right after the state fair, next weekend is get cold in Minnesota. That's one of the things. So that's what we'll be looking forward to these 12 days, right? If you are Minnesota, you'll be looking forward to these 12 days because by the time the following weekend comes, you start You start wearing those windbreakers now. You guys say, "Oh, really? How do we go from 80 to 65?" So okay, this is Minnesota, this is Minnesota for you, right? So tonight we are discussing the good Minnesota get a good experience. If you have never experienced it, if you have been in Minnesota, if you live in Minnesota here as an immigrant, and you have never experienced the state fair, man, that's why we're having this segment
You're
tonight. It's
missing
quite,
out.
you're missing out. Go and experience it. That's what America is about. Go and experience these things. You know, go
And
and
there is
experience
food
it.
there for you, my Liberian people. I know you guys are thinking, oh, all that yama yama. You like ribs, it will be there. You like pork chops, it'll be there. You like fried rice, it'll be there. So, and the liquor will be there too. Not just beer, hard liquor, all types of different liquor will be there. So don't worry, there's something
But
there
here's the
for
thing, though,
everyone.
right? If you go there and the food is not there, right? I think that the reason why maybe like the Somali have I mean a vendor in there, the monk are vendor in there today. You know what I mean? These days and stuff like that. If you go there and your kind of food is not there, you know the one thing about America where there's always that feedback.
Feedback. Yes.
Feedback. Then they start saying, okay, we have this large group of Liberians or West African immigrants coming through, but they want certain food. So when a vendor, from our community apply, they will say, they might even now come and seek out a vendor from our
That's
community.
what happens. That's
You know,
exactly what
they
happens.
might come out and seek, right? The state fair, the organizer, the owner of the state fair will say, oh, you know what? I think we should seek out a vendor from the West African community to come and maybe like do some kind of a food or something, right? So don't say, oh, my kind of food is not there. Yeah, go there and provide your feedback. Hey, maybe I want kesari. Who knows? They might.
This is where I name drop my boy again. What a size position to be at the fair.
Yeah,
They are,
okay.
they already got the infrastructure, they got the buffet, they got the pricing, they have the
Mhm,
packaging. And
mhm,
that's how the fair likes for you to be prepared. That's how they like for you to look like so they can
mhm.
be able to help you be able to get space at the fair. Again, 322 acres of land. I'm sure they're always trying to figure out how they can find more
Yeah,
space to
mhm,
bring in new vendors. And so,
yeah.
try. There's nothing wrong with trying. Apply, seek it
Oh,
out. Like you have to probably do it a year in advance. It's a process, right? It's a lengthy process. So I want to say, if you don't know how to do it, come see us, come see me. We can figure it out together. When there's something I don't know about, I go and try and do it. Like I said, I went and got a cottage food license. I may not even use it, but I just wanted to understand the process of how to get one. I know how to get one, so I can help you get that one, get that as well.
so that's why we're going to bring the executive out of ASA on here so we can learn what ASA is doing, because a lot of folks need to know in the community what ASA is doing, how is ASA helping the community, what impact is ASA making in the community.
Yes.
But since you need drive Waterside Market, I think Waterside Market should aim for that. Mother Kamai, if you're listening tonight, you should aim for that, right? Yeah, you got a good infrastructure. When you came on here, you won over me. I say, anytime buying African food, I'm going to go to Waterside Market.
Oh yes.
Anything I'm buying, I'm going to make that drive from Maple Grove to to Broken Pie, to patronize Waterside Market, because I think it's a great, you know what I mean, and stuff. The fact that you love your community, the fact that you love Liberia, you love Liberians, you want Liberians to succeed. I think that's great. Now that you have done that, that you are winning your people over. We also want to see you at the state fair.
To
Right? It's
excel,
like,
to
yeah,
grow.
hey,
I
we want to
mean,
see, yeah,
one
hey,
year at the fair, we might have to buy a bigger building. You probably outgrowing
you
that
never,
space you're
yeah,
in.
exactly. You never know,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. You never know. So yeah, so I think you should do that, and stuff like that. So that's the thing, right? Is like our community. We cannot just sit here and be having a baby shower, then they party there all
And
weekend,
the
going to
weddings.
Jumbo, going to Ovio, going to Papa Rose. Folks, we need to start having impact.
Mm.
Impact. We don't have any impact in the society, yo. Everywhere you go in this country, there's no impact. Someone go somewhere, by the time it's 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, people driving off in the building. You go, you go. Guess what? They can never drive Hmong people from the building in this place. No.
Nope.
They want to stay there up to 6 a.m. They can stay there because it is their building. It is, they say we're going to stay here up there. That's the thing I've learned, right? Is like, yeah, there are licenses to stay open up to 6 a.m. anywhere in
There
this country.
are. Yeah.
It's not,
Honestly, you can stay open. They just dictate when you have to stop serving liquor.
well,
And
fine,
mind you, with
fine.
advocacy from the businesses, they extended the time. There was a time when Minnesota only let you serve liquor till 1 a.m. And now
First
you
of
can
all,
serve liquor until 2.
if we had political, economic
There you go.
power, guess what? But I rather me be drinking up to 6 a.m. By the time we go at daybreak, I can easily drive and go to my house
And
rather than
sober up.
2 a.m. rather than 2 a.m. where all these cops are looking at. But anyway, that's a topic for another day, right? But we need impact. And so the
Yeah.
Minnesota State Fair is one of the way we can start with getting those impact, folks. So it's a 1 hour show. We've been talking at you, Chef, for the last 1 hour, but it's
It
been a
goes so
great
fast.
segment. It's good so far. We're going to be having fun with these things, right? We're
Yeah.
encouraging folks as an immigrant community, especially as African immigrant community. We are here. We need to start experiencing these things.
Yep.
If you got a good business, you know, go there, network,
Why? You can do it.
talk
You
to
can be a
people.
part
Don't
of
be
the state
afraid. I
fair.
mean, you brought something about rejection, right? I think one of the great quote out here to rejection should serve as a source of motivation.
Oh yeah.
You know, rejection. I mean, so now in our community against no. For some of us in the corporate world, so now you apply for a job 1 minute time. Only what 5 employers will call you for interview.
Denzel
Okay,
Washington talks about it all the time. He say, "Oh,
okay. So rejection in our community, I know we frown upon rejection, but rejection is a great thing. It should be a source of inspiration, source of learning. It should bring the best out of you.
I don't
Shouldn't
give up.
discourage you.
I don't give up."
Yeah,
For me,
shouldn't
no
discourage you.
means not yet.
Not
No
yet,
is
not yet.
not yet.
Yeah,
It's
not
not
yet.
no,
Yeah.
but not yet. Yes.
Not yet, not yet. I mean, that's a good one. Not yet. So don't be
Not yet.
discouraged. Let us try. That's the thing. Let us try. It will be our time will come, but before our time come, we need to start. We need to work towards it. We can't sit on the sideline and say our time will come. So, folks, I said Miss Beauty has been a great segment. I don't know when you go into
Yes.
this. I will give that to you though. When you first started here, you said you've been taking the kids. Yes, all the time. But last year I took them.
Okay, you took them last year. Okay, I just
Yeah,
need to
okay.
rewind.
Last year I took it. I know for many years, because I said, right, I used to be in the same boat now because people, but for many years, I'm that the people think,
Nothing there
you
for
know,
me.
yeah, but there's a lot there, right? Just that experience alone,
Yes.
different environments. So, but that's it. What is your parting message, man, to folks as they listen to us here tonight, talking about the great Minnesota get together, the great experience, the great thing about our state.
I think what we always try to do here on the show is just to say, be open to different experiences and different opportunities. And if
Mm-hmm.
you've never been to the fair, go. It's worth it. I
Mhm.
mean, you easily spend $200-300 on any given weekend here, going to some party or going to the club and buying drinks. Go to the state fair, takes the kids. It's a great experience. I mean, that's all
Mhm.
I can tell you. Just go, do it.
Yeah, definitely, yeah, definitely. And I echo that. Go and experience it. Get out of your comfort zone. Get out of the community. You see these same people every time. That's why that be, nothing against Jumbo, Purple was Ovio. But I only go to this place, when my boys and myself say, hey man, gentlemen, maybe let's go out, and I say, okay, fine. But I don't make it a habit because I see that the same old people are gonna be seeing. Like same old, same old cry. Get out of that comfort zone. Go somewhere where you see
Yes.
different people, experience, have different vibe and stuff like that. We need to explore this country, see these things,
Yeah.
be part of this society. We are here. This is where we live, folks. It's where we pay our taxes. It's where we do everything. Let us be part of it. We should not sit on the sideline and then other people defining us. That's what has happened, right? Folks are defining, oh, them. Oh, from no. We came here, whatever my accent or not. I'm here now. I live here. I pay my taxes here, and my taxes are contributing to the society. So I'm part of it. Whether I like it or not, I am part of it. So I encourage you to it started today, and even right now it's on. Right, it's gonna
It's
go up to
still
11,
going
11
from
p.m. It started 6 a.m. 7 a.m. this morning. It's gonna go 11 p.m.
And
And
the
it's long.
funny, believe it or not, people take the day off to go to this thing. So
Actually, first of all, our other folks, to all my Caucasian folks, some of them go there every day or every other
yes,
day. Okay,
every day.
every other day. They look forward to it, right? They look
Yep.
forward to it, and that's the fun part about it. So hey, to all our brothers and sisters, to our immigrant community, man, as take the
Yeah.
time one day. You gotta go there all day, sometimes maybe half day.
And
Half
like
day.
and like we said, the nearby cities, states, Wisconsin, Illinois, this is their family vacation.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Yeah.
are renting
Everybody.
hotels, and that's why we say the state of Minnesota itself, the money it makes every year from the fair
290.
generates. Yeah,
290 million every
yeah,
annually. 290
yeah,
million because folks come from everywhere to experience that, to experience the food. So go, folks. That's our party message to you tonight. Go.
yeah.
And if you are visiting the Minnesota this weekend, tell them, say, my man, tell them, don't just give me the house. Take me to the Minnesota State Fair. Go
So it's
experience it.
free park and ride. Look
Yeah.
over the state, go on the fair website. It will tell you, how do I get to the fair? There's free parking rides all over the state of Minnesota, Chaska, rural Minnesota, Moorhead. There's free parking rides all over to bring you to the state fair. So you park your car somewhere, you get on a bus, the bus is free to ride it, and that bus will take you to the fairgrounds. And at the end of the day, it's running 24/7. Well, as long as the fair is open, those buses keep coming, dropping people, taking people, dropping people, taking people. So don't worry about that. The Mall of America is a park and ride area. So like major malls are going to be park and rides. Park and rides are all over the state, and you can get to the fair for free. I believe buses are taking people to the fair for free. So just Google it, figure out, go on the fair website and you'll find this information. So this should not be an issue. Parking should not be a cost that you have to bear. Transportation should not be a cost that you have to bear to get to the fair. They want you there. So go.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing as well, I think one thing to mention, so we are, we are providing great information here tonight. Before we wrap up here, the entrance fee from 13 to 64 is $20.
Yep.
The entrance fee is $20, folks. $20. As Miss B said, on the weekends when you can blow up 500,
Yeah.
without even know the entrance fee
Without
is
thinking about
$20.
it.
And for seniors, is $18. For kids, if you have kids under
13.
13 is what it's $18 as well. So I
Yep.
mean, like, take your kids, take them there, and go have fun. Just go have fun. It's fun. And they have rides for the kids, right? The kids not
Oh
gonna be
yeah.
bored. They have
Some
rides,
of the
they
most
have
scariest rides that you would see at Valley Fairs at the state fair. What?
yeah, they
Yeah.
have that's why I said they have everything, everything. So folks, go and experience this great Minnesota. That to Miss B point, that's one of our greatest attraction.
Oh yeah.
It is one of our greatest attraction. 12 days of the Minnesota get together
Yeah.
everywhere. Folks come from everywhere around the world to attend. So that's it for us tonight. We hope you can, find a time to be part of this. That's our way of, telling you, man, telling our audience, telling you all of you here in Minnesota, all of you from around the country. If you want to, maybe even want to make a quick visit or quick, trip to Minnesota, it's the time to
Go
do it.
for
So
it.
go
This is
for
the
it and
best time
come.
to come.
I mean, you will not regret it. So thank you so much, folks. It's been a great show. Thank you for joining us tonight. We'll
Good
see you
night,
back.
everyone.
Yeah, we'll see you back here Monday for our
Monday.
entertainment segment. It's been a minute we have not done the entertainment segment.
Yes.
So we're gonna come back here on Monday, right, to drop some nice, and this time I'm gonna be playing music. Whether
Yeah.
that whether they get that copyright to someone, I'm gonna be playing music this time on our entertainment segment. So,
I
but
look forward to that. And then
yeah,
we'll do the weekend wrap up on Monday, and then we'll tell you about upcoming events
yeah,
to end this month
yeah,
and
yeah.
open up to the September month.
Yeah.
Liberian community is gonna be on fire next weekend. It's gonna be busy. So
Whoa, okay,
oh
that's a good one.
yeah, it's gonna
So
be on
folks, tune,
fire
tune in for the entertainment segment on Monday
on
because Miss
Monday.
B already giving you something. So I say, folks, you
Oh,
all have a good night, and we'll see you back here on Monday at 7:30.
So
good
join
night.
the conversation, let's set the tone. In a Circle podcast where love is well known.